last 3 classes we are studying about the 2 degrees of freedom systems, and we have studied the free vibration response of 2 degree of freedom system. And in this case of 2 degree of freedom system, you are finding 2 natural frequency and 2 normal modes of the system. Unlike the single degree of freedom system, here you have 2 natural frequency, and already I told you how to derive this equation motion. Equation motion can be derived using Newton's method or D'Alembert principle, or by using this Lagrange method or extended Hamilton principle. So, after deriving this equation motion, you can find the free vibration response of the system by assuming normal modes of the system, and by assuming this normal mode you can find the natural frequencies of the system. So, after finding the natural frequencies, then you can find the normal mode of the system, or you can study the free vibration response of the system. In case of free vibration, you can assume that this free vibration of a system is the summation of the normal mode of the systems. So, in this case of 2 degrees of freedom system, already you have seen for a double pendulum how to determine the normal modes of the system, and from the normal modes also how to determine the free vibration response of the system. Also, we have studied the damped free vibration of 2 degree of freedom system. Last class we have studied about this, and I can draw a spring mass damper system with damping, and today class we will study about this. We will see a example of this damped free vibration of 2 degree of freedom system, and also we will study semi definite systems and force vibration of 2 degree of freedom system. So, to start with this damped free vibration of 2 degree of freedom system, let us see the example we have taken in the last class. So, I am drawing a spring mass damper system with 3 springs and 2 mass. So, this is mass 1, this is mass 2, and already you have seen. So, this is mass 1, this is mass 2, this is K1, K2, K3, and also we have put some damper here also. So, this is damper 1, so I have put a damper 2, and this is the third damper. So, let me draw it clearly. So, this is the second mass and spring, and I will put a damper also. So, this is the damper. So, this is C1, C2 and C3. So, in this case you have found the equation motion by assuming the generalized coordinate x1 and x2. x1 is the generalized coordinate for mass m1, and x2 is the generalized coordinate for mass m2. So, by taking this you can write the equation motion. So, already you have seen that equation motion I have derived using either Lagrange principle or Newton's method. So, you can use the Newton's method for simplicity here. So, you can draw the free body diagram, of the system. So, for this mass m1, if you draw the free body diagram, so it will have a inertia force of m1 x1 double dot, then this is the spring force k1 x1 and damping force c1 x1 dot, and similarly for this k2 and c2 elements, so it will be k2. So, this spring will have a relative motion of x1 minus x2. So, it will be k2 x1 minus x2, and this is c2 x2 dot minus x1 dot minus x2 dot. So, in this way you can find the equation motion for the first mass. So, this will becomes m1 x1 double dot plus k1 plus k2 x1 minus k2 x2 plus c1 x1 c1 plus c2 x1 dot minus c2 x2 dot. Similarly, for mass 2 also you can draw the free body diagram. So, for mass 2 if I will draw the free body diagram, so this is mass m2. So, the free body diagram, so this is x2. So, inertia force m2 x2 acting in this direction, and this spring force I can write it equal to k2 into x2 minus x1, and damping force equal to c2 into x2 dot minus x1 dot, and this side you have spring force of K3x3, K3x2 and damping force of C3 into x2 dot. So, your equation motion will becomes m2 x2 double dot plus K2 plus K3 x2 minus K2 x1 plus C2 plus C3 x2 dot minus C2 x1 dot will be equal to 0. So, you have already written the equation motion and you know that equation motion is nothing but, so this equation becomes m1 x1 m1 0. So, this becomes m1 0 0 m2 x1 double dot x2 double dot plus K1 plus K2 minus K2 K2 plus K3 x1 x2 plus C1 plus C2 minus C2 plus C3 into x1 dot x2 dot equal to 0 0. So, from this free body diagram of this system you have determined the equation motion by applying the Newton's method here. Also you may apply Lagrange principle to find this equation motion. In that case you can write the kinetic energy of the system. So, kinetic energy of the system equal to half m1 x1 dot square and kinetic energy of the second mass equal to half m2 x2 dot square. So, total kinetic energy of the system becomes half m1 x1 dot square plus half m2 x2 dot square, and potential energy of the system is due to the springs. So, it becomes half k1 x1 square plus half k2 into x1 minus x2 square plus half k3 into x2 square, and the dissipation energy you can write equal to half c1 x dot square plus half c2 x2 dot minus x1 dot whole square plus half c3 x2 dot square. So, by writing these three energy, that is the kinetic energy, potential energy and dissipation energy, and then applying the Lagrange principle also, you will get the same equation of motion. So, after getting this equation motion, so you can assume a solution in this form. So, you can assume x1 equal to, so you can write x1 equal to a1 e to the power st and x2 equal to a2 e to the power st, and last class we have seen by applying this equation in this original equation motion, you can reduce this equation to this form. So, this becomes m1 s square plus c1 plus c2 s plus k1 plus k2, then minus c2 s minus k2, then minus c2 s minus k2, and this becomes m2 s square plus c2 plus c3 into s plus k2 plus k3 into a1 a2 equal to 0 0. So, for non-trivial solution a1 a2 you can write, or you can find the determinant of this matrix. Determinant of this matrix will be equal to 0, and from this you can find 4 value of s, and after finding these roots you can write the expression for x1 and x2. So, x1 and x2 will become, so x1 will becomes a11 e to the power s1t plus a12 e to the power s2t plus a13 e to the power s3t plus a14 e to the power s4t. Similarly, you can write x2 will be equal to a21 e to the power s2t e to the power s1t plus a22 e to the power s2t plus a23 e to the power s3t and plus a24 e to the power s4t. So, you can obtain the solution of this damped free vibration system by after finding these roots of this characteristic equation. So this is the characteristic equation which you got by finding the determinant of this matrix. So after finding this determinant, you can find 4 roots of this, and by substituting these roots you can find the equation in this form. So you can observe that out of these 4 roots, some roots may be real or some may be complex also, or complex conjugates. You can find these roots. So after finding these roots, you can find x1 and x2. You may note that this a1i and a2i are not independent. So they are dependent on each other or linearly dependent. So after finding these 4 roots from this equation, you can write that a1i. So if you substitute this thing, so this into, so for first set of roots, so you can write a1i by a2i. So this into a1i into this into a2i will becomes 0. So from this you can write a1i by a2i is nothing but this is equal to c2si plus k2 by mi si square or m1 si square. So this is m1. So this is m1 si square plus c1 plus c2s plus k1 plus k2. So for a stable system, all the 4 roots must be either real negative number or complex number with negative real parts. So you know, for a stable system, so for a stable system, all the roots should have a negative real part. If they have a positive real part, then the solution will contain e to the power s1t. So this s, let me write this s equal to sigma 1 plus j omega form. So as s is a complex number, you can write in this form sigma plus j omega. So if I am writing this s equal to sigma plus j omega, if I have a root here, so the solution will be in this form. So it will contain a into e to the power sigma plus j omega t. So this will becomes a into e to the power sigma t into e to the power j omega t. So this part will give the oscillatory motion, but the part containing a into e to the power sigma t, if sigma is positive, will exponentially grow with time t. So with exponentially it grow, so this part will grow exponentially. So the system will have a unbounded solution. So for a stable system, this sigma should be negative. So for a stable system, the roots should have negative real parts or a complex conjugate, yes, a complex conjugate with negative real part or a real number with or a negative real number. So after finding these roots, so you can find the solutions, and let us take another physical example to find the response of a system. So let us take a similar system, similar spring mass damper system, but here I will reduce the number of damper. So let me put a damper only in the middle. To simplify the calculation, I can do it. And so this is the system. Let us take the system. So this is M1, M2. Let me take this in this case. So let us study the free vibration of the system, where M1 equal to M2 equal to M. Let me take it equal to 1 kg, and then let me take this K1. So this is K1, this is K2, this is C2, this is K3. So I am taking the C1 equal to C3 equal to 0 in the previous example. Here I am taking C2 equal to 2 Newton second per meter, let me take, and this K1 equal to K2 equal to K3 equal to 100 Newton per meter. So for simplicity, this data I have taken. So you may take any other data to find the free vibration response of the system. So in this case, already you know the equation motion, which can be written in this form M1 S square, or the equation motion is written in this form: m1 0 0 m2 x1 double dot x2 double dot plus k1 plus k2 minus k2 minus k2 k2 plus k3 x1 x2, and for damping this, so this equation is reduced to, so I can write this equation in this form. So for this case I can write the equation. So this is equal to m 0 0 m, so x1 double dot x2 double dot plus, so this becomes k1 plus k2, so k1 plus k2, this becomes 2k, and this is minus k2, so minus k, and this is minus k, and k2 plus k3 becomes 2k, and so this becomes x1 x2, and for damping case, so this becomes c1 plus c2, so as c1 equal to 0, so this becomes c, I can write it equal to c, and this becomes minus c, and this is minus c, and this is c, and this becomes x1 dot and x2 dot equal to 0 0. So the equation motion for this system you can write in this form. So without referring the previous case also, you can directly write the equation motion by drawing the free body diagram of the system. So if you draw the free body diagram for this mass m1, so the inertia force is m1 x1 double dot, so spring force equal to k1 x1, damping force, there is no damping force this side, and this side you have the spring force k2 x1 minus x2, and the damping force equal to c x dot, so c x2, so this becomes c, so it will have a displacement of x1 minus x2, so velocity difference will be x1 dot minus x2 dot, so the damping force equal to c into x1 minus x2 dot. Similarly for this mass m2, so second mass, you can draw the free body diagram and you can write the equation motion. So this is m2 x2 double dot, and you have a spring force k2 into x2 minus x1, and damping force equal to c into x2 dot minus x1 dot, and this side you have a spring force of k3 into x2. So using these forces you can draw, using these forces you can write the equation motion of the system. So first equation becomes as m1 equal to m, so m x1 double dot plus k1 plus, so here k1 x1, here k2 x1, so k1 plus k2, as k1 equal to k2, so you can write 2k into x1, and minus k2 k2 equal to k, so minus k2 into x2. Then for damping you can write this is equal to c1 minus x1 dot, so into c into x1 dot minus c into x2 dot equal to 0. So this is the first equation, and the second equation becomes m2, so m2 x2 double dot, so m into x2 double dot plus this k2 x2, this also k3 x2, so this becomes k2 plus k3 x2, and for k1 minus k x1, so this becomes minus k, so this becomes minus k x1, so this becomes minus k x1, and k2 plus k3 becomes 2k x2, and for damping this becomes c minus c x1 dot, so minus c x1 dot plus c x2 dot. So in this way you can write the equation motion. Now you can substitute x1 equal to a1 e to the power st, and x2 equal to a2 e to the power st. So if you substitute this equation in the equation motion, your equation will reduce to this form, so it becomes m s square plus cs plus 2k into m s square plus cs plus 2k minus cs plus k whole square equal to 0. So you will get this characteristic equation. So now you have to find the solution of this characteristic equation to find all the 4 roots. So this equation you can write in this form. So if you multiply this thing and you can write this equation in this form, so it will reduce to m s square plus k. You simplify this equation, so you will get m s square plus k into m s square plus 2 cs plus 3k equal to 0. So, you multiply this, write this equation, and then you can write the same equation in this form. So, this becomes, so you can do this thing by following 2-3 steps. So, you just first multiply this equation with this equation and minus Cs plus k square, you expand these terms, and after expanding these things you can rewrite this equation in this form. So, from this you can find that S12. So, from this, so this will be equal to 0 when this first part, either this first part equal to 0 or the second part equal to 0. So, S12 you can find will be equal to plus minus I root over k by m, and from this you can see that S34 will be equal to, so this will becomes minus c by m plus minus root over c by m whole square minus 3 k m. So, in the present case, by substituting this value, so I can write this S12. So, S12 becomes root over k by m, k I have taken equal to 100 Newton per meter and m equal to 1. So, this becomes 10. So, plus minus 10, I am getting 2 roots, those are plus minus 10, plus minus I into 10. So, this is plus minus 10 I, and previously I have written, yes, plus I into root over k by m. So, because this s square equal to minus k by m, so root over minus root over k by m equal to plus minus I into root over k by m. So, S12 you can find this, and S34 becomes, so if I will substitute those values, so it becomes minus 2 plus minus root over 296 I, and this equal to minus 2 plus minus 17.2 I. So, after getting these 4 roots, now we got 4 roots, this S1 equal to plus 10 I, S2 equal to minus 10 I, S3 equal to minus 2 plus 17.2 I, and S4 becomes minus 2 minus 17.2 I. So, here you just note that you got 4 complex numbers, out of these 2 are imaginary, purely imaginary, and other 2 are complex conjugates. So, these imaginary roots will give oscillatory motions, and you can write your x1 in this form. Already you know, you can write x1 a11 e to the power 10 I t plus a12 minus 10 I t plus a13 e to the power minus 2 plus 17.2. So, this becomes 17.2 I into t plus a14 e to the power minus 2 minus 17.2 I t. Similarly, x2 I can write in this form a21 e to the power 10 I t plus a22 e to the power minus 10 I t plus a23 e to the power minus 2 plus 17.2 I t plus a24 e to the power minus 2 minus 17.2 I t. So, here you can observe that the system have 2 frequency, one frequency is 10 and the other frequency is 17.2. So, this 2 degrees of freedom system will have 2 frequencies. You obtain those 2 frequencies and you can simplify these 2 expression to write the expression for x1 and x2. Also, you may note that this x a11, a12, a13, a14 and a21, a22, a23, a24 can be obtained from the initial conditions. So, you know you have 4 initial conditions, these are the displacement and velocity of mass 1 and 2. So, but you have 8 unknowns. So, out of these 8 unknowns and you have 4 equations, and also you know that a1i and a2i are related. So, if you find some of these either a1i or a2i, then you can find the other 4 unknowns. So, you can simplify these equations and you can write these equation also in this form. So, by using this property, e to the power I theta equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. If you use that property, then you can write this equation in this form. So you can write this x1 equal to b11 sin 10t plus phi 11 plus b12 sin 17.2t plus phi 12, and x2 also you can write equal to b21 sin 10t plus phi 21 plus b22 into sin 17.2t plus phi 22. So in this case you have this b11 phi 11 and b12 phi 12. So b11 this is the magnitude and phi 11 is the phase difference. So this is the first mode and this is the second mode. So already you know by using these normal modes how to write this equation motion. So these are the normal modes. So sin 10t and sin 17.2t. So 17.2 is the second frequency and 10 is the first frequency of the system. So in this way you can find the response of a 2 degree of free vibration, 2 degree of freedom system with damping. So let us see some other system which are known as semi definite system. Semi definite system or degenerate system. There are a class of system for which out of these two natural frequency you can find that one natural frequency equal to 0. So the system for which at least one natural frequency is 0 are known as the degenerate system or semi definite systems. So let us take the system, simple spring mass damper system in which the sides are not constrained. So this is M1 and M2. So you have two systems or two bogies, they are connected by the spring K. So in this case you can derive this equation motion. So for this case the equation motion you can derive by using Lagrange principle. So by using Lagrange principle you can write the equation motion. So this is x1 and this is generalized coordinate x2. So kinetic energy equal to half m1 x1 dot square plus half m2 x2 dot square, and potential energy equal to half k into x2 minus x1 whole square. So you can find the equation motion of the system in this form. So it leads to m1 0 0 m2 into x1 double dot x2 double dot plus k minus k k into x1 x2 x2 equal to 0 0. So you can take a two rotor system also which will have similar equation motion. So this is a two rotor system with inertia I1 and I2, and let Q is the stiffness of the system. So in this case also you can have a similar equation motion. So for this case I can write now this x1 equal to, I can assume a solution x1 equal to a1 e to the power I omega t and x2 equal to a2 e to the power I omega t. So I am taking the normal modes. So already you know in case of normal modes all the masses will vibrate with same frequency. So I have taken the frequency to be same in both the cases. In case of x1 I have taken it omega, and in case of x2 also I have taken it omega, but the amplitudes are different. In case of normal modes the systems or the masses of the system are vibrating with same frequency and passing through the equilibrium position at the same time. So I can assume the solution like this, and after assuming the solution I can find, and substituting in this equation motion I can write this in this form. So the equation motion will reduce to k minus m1 omega square minus k minus k minus m2 omega square into a1 a2 equal to 0 0. So for non-trivial response, so the determinant will be equal to 0. to find the determinant, so determinant will be k minus m1 omega square into k minus m2 omega square minus k square equal to 0. So I can write the determinant in this form. So the determinant becomes k minus m1 omega square into k minus m2 omega square minus k square equal to 0. So I will multiply this. So I can write this equation in this form, k into k. So this becomes k square minus k into m1 plus m2 omega square plus m1 m2 omega fourth minus k square equal to 0. Or I can write this equation in this form, omega square. So I can take omega square common from these two. So this becomes omega square into m1 m2 omega square minus k into m1 plus m2 equal to 0. So this, as this k square cancel. So this equation becomes minus k into m1 plus m2 omega square plus m1 into m2 omega fourth equal to 0. So I can take omega square and this becomes m1 m2 omega square minus k into m1 plus m2 equal to 0. So from this equation you can observe that either this omega equal to 0 or this part will be equal to 0. So you are getting a frequency omega equal to 0. So the other frequency can be obtained from this. So this will gives omega square equal to k into m1 plus m2 by m1 m2, or you can write, so this is your omega 1 equal to 0 and omega 2 you can write equal to root over k into m1 plus m2 by m1 m2. So you have seen you have two frequency out of which one frequency equal to 0. So this is a degenerate system and for which you have this omega 1 equal to 0. So if I will substitute this omega 1 equal to 0 in this equation, so let omega equal to 0. So if omega equal to 0, so you can see that k into a1 minus k into a2 equal to 0, that means a1 equal to 0, a1 equal to a2. So for omega 1 equal to 0, you have observed that from this equation. So your equation is m1 omega square minus k minus k minus m2 omega square a1 a2 equal to 0 0. So from this equation if you substitute omega equal to 0, omega equal to omega 1 equal to 0, so you are getting a1 equal to 8. So a1 equal to a2 means both the springs or both the mass, so this is x1, this is x2, this is x1, this is x2. So amplitude a1 equal to a2, that means both the mass will move in the same direction with same amplitude, that means there will be a rigid body motion in the system. So the body will have a rigid body motion in this case of degenerate system, and in the second case it will have a frequency. So you can find in case of second mode. So this a1 by a2, if you substitute a1 by a2, if you substitute this value of omega 2, then you can find or omega square will be equal to k into m1 plus m2 by m1 m2. If you substitute in this equation a1 by a2 equal to, so this becomes k by, so this equation gives k minus m1 omega square a1 equal to k into a2. So a1 by a2 becomes k by k minus m1 omega square. You substitute the value of omega square, that is equal to k into m1 plus m2 by m1 m2. So if I will substitute it here in this equation, so this reduces to minus m2 by m1. So this becomes minus m2 by m1. So in this case you can observe that this amplitude ratio is inversely proportional to the mass ratio of the system, A1 by A2 equal to M2 by M1. So, in case of a 2 rotor system, similarly you can write, so this is a 2 rotor system. So, in this case of 2 rotor system also you can write, if the inertia is I1 and this inertia is I2. So, you can write this A1 by A2, that is the amplitude of rotation of this mass by amplitude of rotation of this mass will be equal to I2 by I1. So, it will inversely proportional to the inertia ratio. In case of this 2 mass or 2 rotor system, you can proceed in this way also, in another way also. So, in this case I can write, when they are moving with same frequency, let me find the same relation by another method. So, this is the system. So, in this system, when it is rotating with frequency, so already you know that one frequency equal to 0, the other frequency you have to find. So, we have given that the system will have a length of this rod equal to L, and when it is rotating with the other frequency, so there will be a node point here. This node point means this point will have no vibration. So, you can assume that this 2 rotor system is equivalent to a cantilever beam or rotating cantilever beam. So, in which it is fixed at this point. So, at this point it is fixed. So, let this length is L1, this length is L2. So, this natural frequency of this part you can write equal to, so omega 1 or omega 11 you can write natural frequency of this part, it is equal to root over stiffness of this part by, so let stiffness is Q1. So, stiffness of this part by inertia of this part Q1 by I1. Similarly, you can write this omega 22 you can write, or this part you can write, it is equal to Q2 by I2, but this Q1 is nothing but, so Q1, so already you know this formula for torsional vibration of this system, T by J equal to G theta by L. So, you know this formula. So, from this you know T by theta equal to G J by L. So, T by theta is nothing but the stiffness of the system. So, Q, so you can have Q1 equal to G1, or as I am taking the same system or same rod, so I can write G J by L1. Similarly, I can write Q2 equal to G J by L2. So, as the natural frequency is same for both the parts, I can write omega 1 equal to omega 2. So, this implies that root over Q1 by I1, that means G J by L1 I1 will be equal to root over G J by L2 I2. So, from this you can find that 1 by L1 I1 equal to 1 by L2 I2. So, from this you can see that this L1 by L2 by L2 equal to I2 by I1, and from this you can see from this figure. So, the amplitude ratio will proportional to this L1 L2. So, this amplitude ratio A1 by A2 will be equal to, so amplitude ratio will be equal to I2 by I1. So, in this way you can show also that the amplitude ratio is inversely proportional to the inertia ratio, and you can find for a given system parameters G, J and length of the system. So, you can find the natural frequency omega also. So, one natural frequency in this 2 rotor system equal to 0, and the other natural frequency will be equal to G J by L1 I1, and this node point you can find by using this relation. So, you know the inertia of the system. So, by using that inertia ratio you can find L1 L2, and also you know L equal to L1 plus L2. So, by using that you can find the node point. So, after finding this node point you can find this amplitude ratio. So, in this way you can find the response of a degenerate system or semi-definite system. So, till now we have studied about the free vibration response of a 2 degrees of freedom system. So, let us see the forced harmonic vibration of a 2 degree of freedom system. Force harmonic vibration. So, in case of force harmonic vibration, the system is subjected to a harmonic force. So, for simplicity we can take the same system what we have studied before and we can write the equation motion. So, let us take the system. So, this is a spring mass damper system. So, this is K1, this is K2 and I will take another spring also, this is K3. So, this is mass M1, this is mass M2 and so this mass M1 is moving with a displacement x1. So, these x1 and x2 are the generalized coordinate of the system. So, in this case you know that equation motion equal to M1 0, 0 M2. So, for free vibration case you have already studied this equation motion. So, let me give a force or let me assume that this mass M1 is subjected to a force. So, this is F and this force F is nothing but this is equal to F0 sin or F0 sin omega t. So, I can write the equation motion by drawing the free body diagram of the system. So, by drawing the free body diagram of the system you can see. So, let me draw the free body diagram of this mass M1. So, in this case it will have a inertia force in this direction that is equal to M1 x1 double dot and spring force K1 into x1 and this side you will have a spring force K2 into x1 minus x2 and in addition to this it is subjected to an external force that is equal to F and this external force equal to F0 sin omega t. But this mass M2, so the free body diagram of this mass M2 is same as before. So, this is equal to M2 x2 double dot, then this is equal to K2 into x2 minus x1 and this side it is equal to K3 into x2. So, the equation motion you can write in this form. So, this is equal to M1 0, 0 M2 x1 double dot x2 double dot plus K1 plus K2 minus K2, this is minus K2, this is K2 plus K3 into x1 x2 will be equal to F sin omega t 0. So, in this way you can write the equation motion of the system. So, let us first take a general system. So, in a general system your mass matrix may be coupled and stiffness matrix may be coupled. So, for a general system I can write this equation in this form. So, it will becomes M11 M12 M21 M22 x1 double dot x2 double dot plus K11 K12 K21 K22 x1 x2. So, this is equal to F0 0 sin omega t. So, instead of applying a force in first mass, if I will apply a force in second mass, I can write this equation in this form. So, it becomes 0 and this becomes F sin omega t. Already you know in case of a single degree of freedom system, when a system is subjected to a harmonic force of F sin omega t, the system will oscillate with the same frequency, but with different magnitude and with a phase difference. So, you can assume for this case that both x1 and x2 are moving or oscillating with same frequency omega. So you can assume a solution in this form x1 x2. So for steady state, so this is for steady state, so you can assume x1 and x2 equal to capital X1 x2 sin omega t. So if I will substitute this equation in this equation motion, then it will reduce to this form. So it will become k11 minus m1 omega square, k21 minus m21 omega square, k12 minus m12 omega square, and this becomes k22 minus m22 omega square into capital X1 x2 sin omega t equal to f 0 0 sin omega t. Or I can write this equation in this form. So this will becomes k11 minus m1 omega square, k21 minus m21 omega square, k12 minus m12 omega square, k22 minus m22 omega square into x1 x2 equal to f 0 0. So as this is a 2 degree of freedom system, or you have only 2 equations, you can solve this equation to find this x1 and x2 by using a number of methods. So directly you can solve this equation like this: k11 minus m1 omega square into x1 plus k12 minus m12 omega square into x2 equal to f0, and the second equation you can write k21 minus m21 omega square x1 plus k22 minus m22 omega square x2 equal to 0. So you can solve these 2 equations to find these x1 and x2. So these equations will be written in terms of k11 m1 m2 and omega, or you may use the Cramer's rule to find the equation motion, or you can write this x1 x2. If I will write this matrix, so let this matrix I am writing it as A matrix. So x1 x2 I can write also in this form. So x1 x2 will be equal to A inverse into f1 0. So this way also you can write. So in this case, so you can write this equal to, so it will be equal to, so if you find the inverse of this matrix, so inverse of this matrix can be obtained by finding the adjoint matrix and dividing it by the determinant of this matrix. So if you write in this way, so you can find this will becomes k22 minus m22 omega square minus k21 plus m21 omega square minus k12 plus m12 omega square. This becomes k11 minus m11 omega square into f0 0 by determinant of this. So determinant equal to k11 minus m11 omega square, k21 minus m21 omega square. This side it is k12 minus m12 omega square, and this is k22 minus m22 omega square. So if this determinant part I can write is it equal to z omega, determinant of this. So if this is equal to z omega, so I can write this x1 equal to k22 minus m22 omega square by determinant z omega into f0, and x2 equal to k21 minus m21 omega square f0 by determinant z omega. So in this way you can find this x1 x2, or in this, or you may find this by using this Cramer's rule also in this equation. So when you are using Cramer's rule, then this x1 will become, so in this place you just replace it by f0 0. So it will becomes determinant of f0 0, then these two terms will remain same by the determinant of A, and similarly x2 will becomes k11 minus m1 omega square, k21 minus m21 omega square. This part this part you may replace by f0 by 0, f0 0. So in that way, by using this Cramer's rule also you can find the solution x1 and x2 of the system. So for the system we have taken before, so in this case this mass matrix becomes m1 0 0 m2 and the stiffness matrix equal to k1 k2 minus k2 minus k2 k2 plus k3. So let me take this example, same example in which I will take this k1 equal to k2 equal to k3. So let this becomes 100 Newton per meter, and then let me take m equal to 1 kg. So in this case I can write, already you have seen that the equation motion can be written in this form. So m1 0, so I am taking this system. So I have taken this system for which already I have derived the equation motion. So I have taken this is k, this is k, this is k, and I have taken this m1 equal to m2 equal to m, and I have to find this is x1 x2, and this mass m1 is subjected to a force F. So in this case I have already derived this equation motion m1 0 or m 0, I can write m 0 0 m x1 double dot x2 double dot plus, so this becomes 2k minus k 2k x1 x2 equal to f sin omega t 0. So now I will assume a solution in this form x1 x2 equal to capital X1 x2 sin omega t I can assume and find the steady state response. So by assuming this thing, so I can first find this z omega. So z omega is nothing but this becomes 2k, determinant of this matrix 2k minus m omega square minus k. So this becomes 2k minus m omega square. So determinant of this matrix, so the determinant of this matrix you can expand this. So this multiplied with this minus this multiplied with this, so you can find the determinant becomes equal to m square into omega fourth minus 4 k by m omega square plus 3 k square by m square. So if I will simplify this thing, so this becomes m square into omega square minus k by m into omega square minus 3 k by m. Let me write this omega 1 equal to omega 1 square equal to k by m and omega 2 square equal to 3 k by m. So this equation becomes, so this determinant of z omega becomes m square into omega square minus omega 1 square into omega square minus omega 2 square. So here you can find your omega 1 equal to root over k by m. So this becomes root over 100 by 1. So this becomes 10 radian per second, and similarly omega 2 becomes root 3 into k by m, or so this becomes 17.32 radian per second. So you got omega 1 and omega 2. Now you can find this x1. So x1 equal to, so from this expression you can find, so by substituting this equation in this equation you can find x1 x2, already we have found that expression. So this becomes 2k minus m omega square into f by this determinant of this determinant z omega. So this determinant of z omega you can find this equal to, so determinant of z omega I have found it equal to 20625. So I can substitute it in this expression. So this becomes 2 into 100 minus 25. So let me take a force F equal to 10 sin omega t. This omega also I can assume. So, I am assuming this omega equal to 5 radian per second. So, if I am assuming this equal to 5 radian per second, so in this case I can write this omega square equal to 25 and this becomes 20625. So, this becomes 0.0848 meter, and similarly you can find x2 equal to kf by z omega. So, this gives rise to 0.0484. So, from this expression you can see I can write this x1 equal to 2k minus m omega square f by m square into omega square minus omega 1 square into omega square minus omega 2 square, and x2 equal to kf by m square into omega 1 square minus omega 2 square. So, you can observe that when omega equal to omega 1 or when omega equal to omega 2, this x1 or x2 tends to infinity, and when omega square equal to 2k by m, omega square equal to 2k by m, x1 becomes 0. So, in this class we have studied, or in this module we have studied the free and force vibration of damped and undamped system, and we have studied the semi definite system. We have derived the equation motion by using different principles, and today class we have studied about the force vibration of damped system. Next class we will study about using this force vibration, we will study the vibration observer or principle of vibration observer, and we will apply this vibration observer principle to suppress the vibration or observe the vibration for different mechanical systems.